If you had to get it up and down on the last hole to win your club championship, to win your flight, or shoot your personal best score, do you have a technique you can rely on to strike it clean and control the distance? Well, if not, I'm going to give you 3 shots today. The bump and run, the famous rib rider pitch, and foundational techniques from bunkers to help you blast shots off your score and win your own major at home. When you think about J.J. Spaun winning the U.S. Open this summer, surely you remember the bomb he made on the last hole, or perhaps that great laser fade drive he hit on the green on number 17. But did you know, on the very first hole of the tournament Thursday morning, he chipped in for birdie? Yes, he won by 2, chipped in on hole number 1, and made a bomb on 18. There have been so many short game heroics in the game of golf, especially in majors. How could we ever forget Larry Mize chipping in on number 11 to defeat Greg Norman at the Masters? Or how about the great Tiger Woods in your life chip on number 16 at the Masters? Tom Watson pitched in hole 17, Pebble Beach, U.S. Open, to take down the great Jack Nicklaus. Or how about Bob Tway's bunker shot at the PGA Championship, where he took down Greg Norman to win the PGA, and then the great Seve Ballesteros' famous pitch on the final hole of the British Open when he only had a 1-shot lead and hit the hole with it. So many great short game heroics today. I'm going to show you 3 great shots that are going to help you blast shots off your score and win your major. And stick around, I've got a challenge for you at the end of this video I dare you to complete. Hi, my name is Greg Jones. I'm the Director of Instruction here at the beautiful Steelwood Country Club in South Alabama. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. You're going to want to stick around. We got a long way to go, and I got 30+ years of proven success as a player, a former Division I head coach, and a full-time private coach. Let's get underway with these short game shots so you can blast shots off your score. Do you have that one short game technique that'll help you hit it solid every time so that you can control the distance? Something that you can rely on and count on day after day, hole after hole? Well, I wanted to introduce you to a really cool shot. You know me, I'm gonna have some quirky names for it, just like Sanitizer and Punisher. I'm gonna introduce you to the soon-to-be famous Rib Rider. Yes, this is called the Rib Rider. And what we're gonna do with the Rib Rider is we're gonna set up to hit this pitch with our elbows at our ribs, not into our ribs, but just kind of at our ribs. And we're gonna make this little right, left move and let our elbows ride our ribs. By continuing to move, we're gonna keep this club face still. We don't want a whole lot of club face action through the hitting zone that's gonna change the loft and change the strike and make you very inconsistent. We definitely want some consistency in the strike. I've always said we were born with great touch, but we can't access that touch if we don't strike it clean. If I strike it clean, I can probably pretty much control how far it goes. So this is the Rib Rider. We'll start with setup. I'm gonna say ball middle. Yes, Phil, it's okay to put the ball in the middle of the stance. Why would you take that away from golfers? It's okay to put it in the middle of your stance. Then I'm gonna cheat my feet a little bit towards the target. Now this comes from the great Dave Stockton when he was teaching Rory McIlroy short game technique years ago. And I was watching a video and Mr. Stockton talked about taking the back foot or the right foot, pointing it at or inside the ball, and then matching the left foot to the right foot. That kind of cheats the finish a little bit and makes it easier for me to turn towards the target. That's important because if I don't, I'm gonna get this handsy flippy action. One of the keys for this is to make sure you keep the butt end of the grip off your forearm. We don't want to flip the butt end of the grip towards our forearm. We want to keep it moving. Well, if you notice, for me to keep the butt end of the grip off my forearm and I turn right and turn left, I had to bring that backside with me a little bit. It's just a little baby pivot. I'm going to take my right knee with me so that I don't get flippy with the club face. All right, so here we go, Rib Rider. Medium, middle stance, feet cheated. I'm also gonna lean a little left. That'll help me get a little steeper and guarantee a little more of a guarantee of a solid contact strike. I got a little shaft lean running up right here at the logo of my shirt. And then my grip pressure is about a 3 on a 10 scale. Whereas 7 irons, 5 irons, and drivers might be a 7 or 8. This is a 3. So here's the rib rider. Right, left. Okay. One, two. Now I want you to notice in the finish where the shaft is relative to my left arm. One, two. See where the shaft and the left arm are all in one line? I didn't go flippy scoopy. Go in. I didn't go flippy scoopy. I see that a lot. I see where people try to lift it and they get really lifty like this and break down the structure in their left wrist. And that's a lot of drop kicks, fats, skulls, no good stuff. All right. Rib rider. 2, and let it run. And again, I had to bring my right knee with me just a little bit. I kept the left arm and the golf shaft pretty much in one line right here. Grip pressure is light. Now this happens sometimes. I'll grip it so light because I'm trying to be so delicate. I want to have light grip pressure because I want to feel this club head. I want to feel how heavy this chunk of metal is right here that I'm going to use to strike that ball and hit it to the pin. If I've got light grip pressure, I have a great awareness of how heavy my wedge is. If I go, really death grip, I can't really feel it that much. So light grip pressure, and sometimes it just happens that in the finish, it's almost like the club is going to fall out of my hands. 1, 2, and see how loose that is? I just holstered it, as they say. So there's the rib rider, foundational technique for pitching. Now what if, this is why it's universal, what if you wanted to go higher? Same motion, we're just going to change a couple of the dynamics here. So if I want to hit a higher, softer landing shot, it's still the same motion, it's still the same rib rider. All I'm going to do is what I say, open up. I'm going to open the face and move the ball up. So here we go, ball up, face open. Everything else is the same. 1, 2. And that one flew about halfway to the hole and is about even with the hole. Nice soft landing. Well, conversely, if you wanted to drive it in there a little lower and make it run, still a rib rider, we're just going to move it back to the back foot, a little more shaft lean, face is a little closed, and obviously this one's going to come out low and run. 1, 2, and there's a little skipper. Come on, a little skipper down there close to the hole. This rib rider is so reliable. It's an easy motion to learn. It'll travel well for you. You can go to different golf courses and use a rib rider all over. You just have to get used to the speed. A very reliable motion, solid contact. If you make solid contact, you can control the distance. So put the rib rider in your short game recipe. Here's one of my all-time favorite short game shots. I call it the chip putt, bump and run. I'm basically going to use a chipping club with a putting stroke to hit it down there. And the only reason I would use the 9 iron, which is I'm going to use for this shot, is just to carry the ball from where the ball is onto the putting surface. I put the towel down here to kind of mimic like a bad area of terrain, like if this was really rough, high grass, or really crabby, scrapey kind of grass, and I wouldn't want to roll it through there, I'm going to use my 9 iron to loft it. So I brought my putter to show you that this is my putting stance, my putting grip, and my putting motion. Now all I'm going to do is substitute 9 iron in. And it's really important that when you grip it like a putter in the putting pad, not under this hitting pad for like 7 irons and drivers. If we put it under this hitting pad, we're going to get a little too much fire in it and probably hit some screamers across the green. So here we go. 9 irons, with a putting stroke. Well, made the first one. That's kind of crazy, but you can get really good at these and control the distance just like a putt. Again, putting stance, putting grip, putting stroke. And when I have this shot, I will actually come back and read it just like a putt, because once it gets on the green, it is a putt. I'm just using the 9-iron to carry it from here to there and turn it into a putt as soon as possible. And it's really, it only takes a few to dial in your feel and distance with these, because it's so similar to putting. You know, I think one of the reasons I like this shot so much is the distance consistency I'm gonna get out of it. I'm probably not gonna scream one 10 feet past the hole. I rarely ever chunk this shot. I think a bad shot here is about 3 or 4 feet. And it doesn't take very long to dial in your distance where you can chip it up really close. Putting grip, putting stance, putting stroke. I want you to notice something here, because this is another reason why this is so much like putting, is after I finish this little shot, I'm gonna hold my finish as if I'm holding my putting stroke to watch my putt roll. All right, I'm watching that joker roll, and I'm learning something from every roll I have. So there you go, I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, made one. I've got one little testy 2.5 or 3 footers, the others are gimmies. So 9-iron chip putt, put that one in your arsenal, especially over the course of a season, because you might get this shot 20, 30, 40 times a year. And if you get it up and down every time, or hole a few and only fail to get it up and down a time or two, scoring average goes down. All right, here's another one of those chip putts, but this time way far distance. I've already stepped it off. It's about 80 feet to the pin. I don't even know if I can hit a putter that far, but I'm still gonna use the same putting method, only with a different club, this time 5-iron. And again, all I'm wanting to do is just put the ball in the air to get it on the green and turn it into a putt as soon as possible. Now with this 5-iron, I won't have to make near as big a stroke as I would with a putter. So I should be able to dial in my distance pretty quickly here, even though it's a long, long ways. Let's see what happens. So 5-iron, putting grip, putting stroke, putting stance. And I haven't hit one of these in a minute, and let's see how it goes. This is pretty crazy right here. Are you kidding? Woo! Let's try that again. What I love about this shot is even if it's bad, it's gonna be 6 or 7 feet. Now, if I take a wedge and try to put it in the air to hit it this far, I am really at the mercy of that first bounce. If I get a bad first bounce, when I put the ball in the air, it could come up 15 or 20 feet short, or it could hit something and skip it further and send it screaming past the hole. But what I like about this chip putt action is that I get a really predictable first hop. I'm turning it into a putt really quickly. The thing is rolling just like a putt. All right, that's 3 good ones. I think the longest one, I got about 3 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet. I would say I should be able to make those and save my par here. One more. Now, I felt like I killed that. And let's just see how bad it turns out. 5 or 6 feet from 80 plus feet, not too bad. But again, what I like about using the 5-iron, smaller stroke, smaller action, better chance to hit it solid. And I would, if I had this shot, I would definitely read this chip just like it's a putt, because I'm going to turn it into a putt as soon as possible. So kind of old school. Not many people do this anymore. Seems like I see a lot of folks going with one club, their most highly lofted club, and sometimes this shot is forgotten. But like I said, over the course of a season or a tournament, and you get these long bumping runs, try your 5-iron, try your 9-iron, and use it like a putter, and you'll be able to control the distance a whole lot better. I get a lot of requests for bunker lessons. And again, I'm always trying to find that foundational baseline technique that everybody can build upon. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but over the years I have found that what I'm about to show you is a pretty good starting place. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll start with setup, 60-degree wedge, ball slightly forward of center. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get really wide, get my hands low, and open the face a lot. And my philosophy here is that I'm going to take my left arm and the shaft and use it like a samurai sword and just kind of slice under that sand. I'm just going to slice a layer of sand out from under the ball. So it's going to look like this. Now, impact is going to have like a smack or a spank. You want to spank that sand. You want to smack that sand with a little hand speed. And this is what it looks like. And when I finish this shot, you'll notice that the club face is almost looking right back up at me. That's pretty good. Here we go again. Wide, low, open, and smack. Boy, this is a toughie. Stay there. Wide, hands low, face open. Slice a layer of sand and smack it. There we go. And that face is looking right back up at me. Everybody's different, but I know I want to be consistent with where I put my eyes. I don't look at the ball. I don't care if you look at the ball. I prefer not to. I'm looking at a spot behind the ball where I want the club to enter the sand. Everybody's different. You might be closer, you might be further away. That's something you're going to have to test. I like to come in here. I'm looking about 2.5 inches behind the ball, and I'm going to try to take that sand out wide, low, open, and smack. And again, that face is looking right back up at me. Come on. Wide, low, and smack. Take off. Very stable here, not releasing my right foot. I'm going to stay in the ground so that this club can work down, slice under, and that face is going to look right back up at me. I mean, all the lessons I've given, I think you can take this technique, kind of play with it a little bit. It's a great starting place. Everybody does it a little different. So you might ask, well, where am I lining up? I'm lining the face up where I want the ball to go. So this shot's breaking right a little bit. I'm lining the face up about 5 feet left. I'm getting my toe stance line, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, parallel. I'm not gonna do open and try to hit like a cut shot style stance. I want a square stance here. Wide, low, open, smack, and slice. Take this bunker technique and make it your own. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I just want you to know how you do it, so when the pressure's on, you can deliver. You want to be a short game superstar and blast shots off your score? You're going to want Short Game Project 25, and I dare you to do it. I challenge you. I double dog dare you to do it. Here we go. The bump and run. I showed you the chip putt, the 5-iron and the 9-iron, bump and run. The pitches is just a rib rider. Put your elbows on your ribs, turn right, turn left. Very predictable, very reliable, and it travels well. And you want to hit lobs. Basically, we're just going to take a rib rider and open up. Open the face and move it up. You'll hit a nice soft lob. Then I showed you bunker foundational techniques where it's just a sword slice and a smack. All right, 25 of each. I dare you to do this. 25 each of these. take you less than an hour. Do that once a week, do it twice a week. 2 months, you'll be a short game superstar. I dare you to do it, and here's why. Because if you do, you're going to probably be in position to win your club championship, win your flight, or shoot your personal best score with 3 holes to go. And that's where I want you. I want you nervous and uncomfortable with 3 holes to go because you're about to do something special. Comment below, challenge accepted. If you're going to take on this short game project 25, I dare you to do it.